Hi, it's Kim Louise, and I wanted to share a conversation I had with someone tonight on something that's probably a little bit vulnerable for me, and she brought up some stuff that I really didn't want to look at, and I looked at it anyway because that's what we were having a conversation for. So I knew that this would be something that would be a contribution to some people, so I want to share it. And it's like, nowadays there's a lot of talk about, being vulnerable and being willing to, drop your barriers and share stuff. And some of the words I'm going to use are going to be a bit like access consciousness speak, but that is a lot of the work that I've been doing for the last, 9 years. And one thing we do look at is like you are your most powerful when you are vulnerable. And I tout myself as the last, couple of years as an empowerment coach. And I do think I am pretty good at it. And I also, for lack of a better word, I'm probably proud of myself maybe in that I am a very strong individual and I'm very stoic. And I also realize that sometimes, yes, I do get a bit vulnerable, and I'll share vulnerable things with people. And also, I only go so far with it. And what I realized tonight with kind of having this bit of coaching with this friend of mine who's been in my world for the last only about a year or so. And I just feel like she and I have really connected very well. And one thing that really came out is that rather than looking at being an empowerment coach, what I really know is deep in the heart of me is more looking at, again, the heart. I say being at the heart of me is my heart and all of our hearts, and tapping into the love that we all have inside. And I know a lot of us block it through past hurts, past pains, blame, shame, regret, and guilt, whatever all of that is. And so we really don't let the love come out. And I realize also I haven't been using the word love a lot in my life in the last number of years. More because, and maybe rightly so, in Access Consciousness, we don't talk about love so much because love can have so many different permeations, computations, and it has, I forget what Gary Douglas says, but like it has umpteen definitions in the dictionary. And also, how many times will people say, well, doing things out of love, but sometimes it's doing things out of obligation. And it also can be used by people for things like, well, if you loved me, you would, whatever it was. Or, I love you, therefore I do whatever it is I do for you. Whereas I want to look at what really the pure essence of love. And I haven't been willing to get vulnerable, really truly vulnerable to look at that. And I get that if I'm not willing to do that, then I can't be the best coach that I can be. If I'm not willing to be vulnerable and tap into the love that really is in my heart. And if I can't coach my clients to do that, then I'm doing them a disservice. So I thought that this would be a good share in that, do you really tap into, when you talk about being vulnerable, if you do, or when you think about it, do you really tap into the love that's in you? And I think it starts with you. So can you tap into, or how well do you tap into the love that's within you? And what that is to me is it's got to start with the self-love. Yeah, it's great to be powerful and all that, and I believe in that, and I believe in the power of love. And what if you could look at that? Look at the power, and I know I'm starting to get on a few tangents, so I'm going to wrap this up and just stick to the one thing. I know I haven't stuck to one thing throughout this, but the message I wanted to get across here is so many of us talk about vulnerability. And what if we looked at that as love and the pure form of whatever love is? And it's got to start from within. It's got to start with self-love. So I'm starting on a journey with this. I'm going to share more about this with you. And if you've got any comments, post below. I'd love to hear what you think about this post. Okay? Or not. It's just an invitation. So that's it for now. More to come. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.